Hey, Brent Messmer here with Technical Taekwondo. Today's video we are going to be talking about a Tornado Crescent kick. Previous videos we've had the inside, outside crescent and the backspin crescent. This is just a follow-up video on that. You can also check out our video on the Tornado angle kick. The footwork is identical. The primary difference as far as what you're doing on the Tornado angle kick versus the Tornado Crescent, I'm going to bring my knees more up on the Crescent kick to give me a little bit more height because the Crescent kick is a little bit bigger. Where the Tornado angle kick, I'm going to be going more jumping inwards to cover distance. So a little bit different. I can do the Tornado angle kick the same way I do my Tornado Crescent. The Tornado Crescent kick, you're not going to cover as much distance as a Tornado angle kick, but you can cover some. But let's just go ahead and get into it. What I like to do when I teach this is find a straight line in your gym. Whether that's something that you've marked on the floor or like I have the mark between the red and the blue. Okay. Find something that you can visually see and stay on that line. Okay. So the footwork is a spin step footwork to start. I pivot the feet, step straight through, pivot the feet, where I maintain everything on that line. Go in the other direction, same thing. Okay. So step, spin step. Okay. Just a 1-2 motion. Okay. Alright? Just like everything else when you're learning something new, you got to learn how to walk before you can run, you got to learn how to run before you can jump, and you have to learn how to jump before you can fly. So when we're doing the Tornado, you have to learn how to walk through these steps. But for kicking purposes, to be the most efficient, you want your toes on the same line. I do not want my toes and my heels on the same line. I don't have any balance walking on tightrope that way. Okay, but I want to have that position where my toes and my are on the same line. If I'm off slightly, so now my left foot is 6 inches to the right of my right foot. When I make my motion, if I step too far over, it's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. If I step too far under, I'm in my own way. And this is where you're going to see people, they either take a cross step and then they make their motion, which is most of how you see people do it. Or what they do is when they make that motion, they take this foot and they step in a circle and then finish the motion. Okay? So either way, those two options are really less than ideal. If I have to make a cross step before I make my motion, I just telegraphed, here I come. Okay? And at the speed of kicking and the range of kicking, you telegraph, if you have a good opponent, they're just going to wait for you to do your motion and counter it because they know it's coming. Because you basically stuck up a big sign that says, here I come. You want to minimize these extra motions. So if I can cut this motion out, instead of just stepping, I can just pivot. And I want to point that heel in the direction I'm going. So if I don't point it enough, okay, when I take that step, I'm going to be stepping off that line. So to make my first motion, I want to snap my heel so that I'm going straight towards the camera so I can step in a straight line and boom, come around. We talk about this footwork a lot when we're talking about the Tornado angle kick as well. So if you want to hear it again, go watch that video. Because I teach it the same way, because it's still a Tornado kick. So once I have that motion down, the second part of this, do the same motion, but now I add high knee lifts. So touch shoulder, touch shoulder. Okay. 1, 2, and I want to gradually increase the speed. The next thing I want to do is I want to confuse my students because I think it's funny. And I tell them a Tornado kick is a spinning front jump kick. And this little statement usually melts their brains. So practice your front jump kicks with high knee lift. 1, 2. Once you can do that nice and high, you got some height to it. When you do the Tornado Crescent, turn, 1, 2. And then add the jump. Turn, 1, 2. Notice the turn is always first. Just like the backspin crescent, I want to turn and spot the target. So when I turn, I spot the target. I'm going to do this big kick. If he ain't there, ain't no point in throwing it. Just like a front jump kick, back knee, front knee. As I turn. 1, 2. Once you have that figured out, add the kick. And the kick is simply an inside crescent motion. 1, 2. Okay? And if you want to, as I come across with my right foot, I can slack my left hand. The only other variation, and I'm too old to do it, is what's called the butterfly kick. The butterfly kick would be somebody who has the athleticism to kick on both. So you turn, 1, 2, and do a backspin crescent, inside crescent, and yeah, that's as good as I'm going to do, because I'm not really inclined to hurt myself just to entertain you guys. I still have to work in the morning. So Tornado Crescent Kick, again, is one of these kicks that doesn't have a whole lot of use for practical application. I've never successfully landed it. The closest I've come when I've thrown it is I scared the other guy. He backed up and his arms went like this, which allowed my follow-up backside kick to crack his ribs. Okay, so it was 1, 2. Very successful to use it that way. Allowed me to set up that backside kick smooth. Other than just having fun, because the Tornado Crescent Kick is a lot of fun to throw. It looks cool, especially if you can get the height on it. If you can add in a couple other spin motions, it's a good fun kick to learn. It just doesn't have a lot of practical application. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. If you guys like what we're doing, please hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, God bless and keep on kicking.